Hi, guys, it's Brittany, and welcome to another episode of One Hot Mess. Today, we are going to continue reading The Greatest Secrets, and we are on chapter 11 The World, All is Well. You might be thinking, how can everything be well when we look out into the world and see violence, wars, poverty, and destruction? People are fighting each other, attacking each other, arguing with each other, criticizing each other, and threatening each other, causing suffering across the planet. But despite our turbulent history, when sages were asked how everything can possibly be well, they would answer with, because the world is an illusion. What they mean by that is that the world is not what it appears to be. The world as we believe it to be, solid and concrete, out there existing separately from us. The only reality is an illusion. We know from science that anything physical is mostly space, that the colors we see are actually the absence of those very colors, and the sounds we hear are really a vibration that our brain interprets into sounds through nerve signals. And we know that all of the mass of the universe, only 0.005%, makes up the electromagnetic spectrum. And what's more, human beings can only perceive a fraction of that percentage. So, is the world really what it appears to be? These waves of possibility are not a material thing at all. They're just emptiness, and they only show up as particles when they are measured and observed by the mind. When you turn from one room to the next, when your animal senses no longer perceive the sounds of the dishwasher, the ticking clock, the smell of a chicken roasting, the kitchen and all its seemingly discrete bits dissolve into nothingness or into waves of probability. With a lineage dating back to the 14th century, the Rose Cross Order describes the material world as nothing but mental phantoms, and most certainly, quantum physics confirms what the ancient traditions knew to be the truth. When I looked into quantum physics years ago, the research I read said that the room I am sitting in doesn't exist when I walk out of it, because the room and everything in it falls back into a wave of probability when not observed. The room only reforms into particles of something solid when I walk back into it and observe it. I used to have fun turning to walk out of the room and spinning around quickly to try and catch the room coming back into form. Not a chance. At its deepest level, the entire physical structure of our world and everything in it is nothing more than empty space. So, is the world physical? But if the world isn't physical, then what is it? All physical manifestation comes from mind, but it's much deeper than the idea of mind over matter. Matter is mind. Everything appearing as solid and material, our whole physical world and universe, is actually images projected by the mind. When you gaze out at the vast universe at night, how certain are you that it's outside of you? We know that any image we see comes from photons of light hitting our retinas, which then gets translated by the brain into an image. Our brain then flips the image and projects it from inside the back of our head. So even on a biological level, we know that what we are seeing is actually within us. When we look at the world, we're not seeing it from outside of us, we're seeing it from inside us. Our senses that detect the outside world are all experienced inside of us. When you touch something, you feel it from the inside of you, not the outside. Check for yourself. When someone puts their arms around you, you're seeing them and feeling them and the sensation of them from inside you. When you hear sounds, you're not hearing them from outside, but inside you. When you move your body, you feel and experience every sensation of movement from inside you. None of our senses or sensations prove that there is a world existing out there and separate from us. All that you see, from a teaspoon to the sun in the sky, is a projection of the mind. Just like a movie projector, our mind projects the pictures of our world. It's like standing in a 360-degree theater with images above, below, and all around you, with full surround sound. It makes for a very convincing experience. The world as you see it, a world that appears to exist outside of our bodies and independently of us, is an illusion created by the mind. The appearance of things beyond solid is an illusion created by the mind. The appearance of things being three-dimensional is an illusion created by the mind. The images of the world and our experience of it through our senses is just like the dream world when you're asleep. The contents of your dream and your experience of the dream are entirely mind made, just as your experience of the world when you are awake takes place entirely in your mind. Knowing that our mind possesses this wonderful power of creation and self deception, is it not reasonable for us to suspect that the body we take to be I and the world we take to be real in our present waking state may in fact be nothing more than a mere imagination or mental projection, just like the body and the world that we experience in a dream? What evidence do we have that the body and the world we experience in this waking state are anything other than a creation of our own mind? In your imagination, you have written and projected a cinema show of actors, acts, and audiences on a screen and have lost sight of the fact that it's all in your mind. Everything we have given a name to, latitude, longitude, nations, states, stars, galaxies, everything you've given a name to is a human construct. So we created this world over thousands of years. We are the storytellers. We not only created the world through our individual thought and collective thought, but we are creating everything we are experiencing from moment to moment. The appearance called the world is only an illusion that we created. Someday you will discover that you created this entire universe, which is nothing but a composite of all our thoughts. And what is the power that we can turn thoughts into an apparent world and universe? It's infinite awareness. The only power there is. Infinite awareness is the one and only power in existence. It has no competition, and you are that. The world is not, on the whole, the place described in our school books. For several centuries, starting roughly with the Renaissance, a single mindset about the construct of the cosmos has dominated scientific thought. This model has brought us untold insights into the nature of the universe and countless applications that have transformed every aspect of our lives. But this model is reaching the end of its useful life and needs to be replaced with a radically different paradigm that reflects a deeper reality, one totally ignored until now. Science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature, and that is because in the latest or in the late the last analysis, we ourselves are part of nature and therefore part of the mystery that we are trying to solve. While scientists continue to believe in a model of the world that is objective, material, solid, and existing separately from us, they won't find the truth of what the underlying substance of the universe is. But for hundreds of years, sages have known the answer to the biggest unanswered questions of science. What is the substance of the universe? Consciousness is the substance of the universe. Where does consciousness come from? Consciousness doesn't come from anywhere. Everything comes from consciousness. Consciousness or awareness is infinite. It is everywhere at the same time. So, how could it come from anywhere? We know from science that our material universe had a beginning with a big bang, which means it must have an end, something that scientists anticipate. With a beginning and an end, that makes our universe finite. So, if that is true, it must have come from something that is infinite. The universe came out of consciousness, and consciousness, which is infinite, is the very foundation and underlying substance of our universe and everything in it. You are infinite consciousness, infinite awareness, which means ultimately the universe is you, in you. The whole universe is contained within a single human being, you. The world, the universe, and everything in it, including your body, are in awareness. They are all sitting in and on awareness. Awareness, it is everywhere, and everything is in it and arises out of it. It knows everything because it contains everything. It is all power because there is no other power than it. When we go to see a movie or watch television, we wouldn't be able to see the pictures if the screen wasn't there. The mind also needs a screen to be able to see the pictures of the world movie that it is projecting, and that screen is awareness. The world movie that our mind projects is sitting in and on the screen of awareness, which means that what we call the world is ultimately made of awareness, the one and only infinite awareness that we are. When the sages say we are one and we are everything, this is what they are referring to. We are absolutely everything because we are the one awareness within which and upon everything exists. Change in society is of secondary importance that will come about naturally, inevitably, when you as a human being bring about the change in yourself. Awareness is what we are. You didn't come to save the world, you came to love the world. While we remain attached to our own beliefs and the belief that we are separate individuals, the world will never be at peace. Billions of egos will always create strife because egos are unstable. They will never agree, but awareness allows for all of it. Awareness allows for the illusion, the false beliefs, the lack of peace, the strife, the suffering, and the wars, because only love allows everything to exist. Your freedom from any suffering doesn't depend on the world coming to peace, but depends on you seeing that you have mistaken yourself for only a person and on your experiencing yourself as the one and only infinite being. When you see the world as you, it will look entirely different from what it looked like when it appeared separate. You will love and identify with it and everyone in it. As we become more conscious, more love arises. With self realization, there is a realization that everything is you, so it isn't possible to harm anything. Awareness says yes to absolutely everything. Awareness allows for the freedom of everything to be the way it is because the world and everything in it is awareness, its own self, our own self. That means there can be nothing to oppose us. No calamity can befall us. No atomic bombs or meteors can destroy us. No lack or limitation can possibly affect us because when you boil it right down, all of it is us. And when you have realized your true self and you are resting as that awareness, you will know no matter how things appear in the world, all is always, always well. All right, y'all. So let's go over a quick summary for chapter 11. The world as we believe it to be, solid and concrete, out there existing separately from us. The only reality is an illusion. Matter is mind. Everything appearing as solid and material, our whole physical world and universe, is actually images projected by the mind. The universe came out of consciousness, and consciousness, which is infinite, is the very foundation and underlying substance for our universe and everything in it. While we remain attached to our own beliefs and the belief that we are separate individuals, the world will never be at peace. Billions of egos will always create strife. And awareness says yes to absolutely everything. Awareness allows for the freedom of everything to be the way it is, because the world and everything in it is awareness, its own self. And no matter how things appear in the world, all is always, always well. Okay, y'all. So that was chapter 11. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And next time we will be reading chapter 12, which is the end. There is no end. All right. Can't wait. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to hit that follow button and share one hot mess with a friend. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Have an amazing day.